Okay, Chitra Mohini Mataji, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tadyadha Balishanam Swayam Atmana Param Purusha Prakrasha Karunaya Swamahimanam Cha Apavarga Hakyam Upakalpa Ishan Swayam Napachita Eva Itaravadi Iho Upalakshitaha. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Madhumay Krishna Kant Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tadyatha Balishanam Swayamatmanaha Shreyaha Paramavidusham Parama Purusha Prakarsha Karunaya Swamahimanam Cha Apavargyapakalpam Upakalpaishyan Swayam Napachita Evetaravad Ihopalakshitaha. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you. Sujata Subhash Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Shlo. Tadyata Balishanam Swayam Atmana Shreya Param Avidusham Parama Purusha Prakasha Karunaya Swamahimanam Cha Apavargapayam Upakalpahisham Swayam Napachita Evetaravad Ihopalakshitaha. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Krishna. Shubha Rao Prabhuji.
माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम।
Krishna.
तद्यथा बालिशानां स्वयमात्मनः श्रेयः परमविदुषां परमपुरुष प्रकर्ष करुणया स्वमहिमानां चापवर्गाख्यम् उपकल्पयिष्यन् स्वयं नापचित एवेतरवदिहोपलक्षितः। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Krishna. Revati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tat yedam palishanam swayam atmanah shreyaha paramam avishudam parama purusha prakarsha karuna sabmahimanam sabavarkakyam upakalyam pashyan savayam nabhichita eva daravat iho balakshitaha. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Krishna. Vijay Kumari Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। तत्यदा बालशानां स्वयं आत्मनः श्रेयेह परम अविदुषां परम पुरुष प्रकर्ष करुणा स्वः महिमां साभवर्ग्याख्यम् उपकल्पयिष्यन् स्वयं नाभषिद ये वेदावत् इहो बलशिदः। हरे कृष्ण माता जी। थैंक यू माता जी।
Krishna. Thank you. Srinivas Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तद्यथा बालिसानां स्वयमात्मनः श्रेयः परमविदुषां परमपुरुष प्रकर्ष करुणया स्वमहिमानां चापवर्गाख्यम् उपकल्पयिष्यन् स्वयं नापचित एवेतरवदिहोपलक्षितः। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Anjali Mataji.
Hare Krishna. तद्यथा बालिशानां स्वयम् आत्मनः श्रेयः परम अविदुषां परम पुरुष प्रकर्ष करुणया स्वमहिमानं चापवर्गाख्यम् उपकल्पयिष्यन् स्वयं नापचित एवेतरवद इहोपलक्षितः. हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Mataji. Krishna. Prafulla Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तद्यथा बलिशानां स्वयं आत्मनः श्रेयः परमविदुषां परम पुरुष प्रकर्ष करुणाया स्वमहिमानं चापवर्गक्षमम् उपकल्पितं पश्यन् स्वयं नापचित एवेतर विदेहो उपलक्षितः। हरे कृष्ण माता जी। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता दी प्रणाम।
Hare
ओम
Krishna.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। यथा बालिनां बालिशानां स्वयमात्मनः श्रेयः परमविदुषां परम पुरुष प्रकर्ष करुणया त्वमहि मानं चापवर्गाख्या मुपकल्पयिष्यन् स्वयं नापचित एव तदवधिहो फलचितः। हरे कृष्ण माता।
Thank you, Mat Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Dhanya Dhameshwari Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
तद् यथा बलिशानं स्वयं आत्मनः श्रेयः परम् अविदुषं परमा पुरुष प्रकाशा करुणायः स्वमहिमानं चापवर्गायहम् उपकल्पयिष्यान् स्वयं नापाचित एव तारवत् इहो फलक्षितः। Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Tat, that, yatha, as, Balishanam, of the fools, Swayam, by yourself. Atmanaha, Hare Krishna, own, Shreya, welfare, Param, ultimate, Avidusham, of persons who do not know, Parama Purusha. O Lord of Lords, Prakarsha Karunaya, by abundant causeless mercy. Swa Mahimanam, by your personal glory. Cha and Apavarga Akhyam, called Apavarga, liberation. Upakalpaya, Upakalpayishyan, desiring to give. Swayam, personally. Na apachittaha, not properly worshipped. Eva, although. Itaravat, like an ordinary person. Iha, here. Upalakshitaha, you are present and seen by us. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Lord of Lords, we are completely ignorant of the execution of Dharma, Artha, Kam and Moksha, the process of liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. You have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship. But actually, you are present here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant and causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called Apavarga, liberation. You have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Vishnu was personally present at the sacrificial arena, but this does not mean that he had any interest in his own personal benefit. Similarly, the Archa Vigraha, the deity in the temple, is present for the same purpose. Out of his causeless mercy, the Supreme Personality of Godhead presents himself before us so that we can see him. Since we have no transcendental vision, we cannot see the spiritual Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha of the Lord. Therefore, out of his causeless mercy, he comes in a form we can see. We can only see material things like stone and wood, and therefore he accepts the form of stone and wood, and thus accepts our service in the temple. This is an exhibition of the Lord's causeless mercy, although he has no interest in such things. In order to receive our loving service, he agrees to act as he does. We cannot actually offer suitable paraphernalia for the Lord's worship because we are completely ignorant. It was out of his causeless mercy that the Lord appeared in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabhi. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmiltam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Deenbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namastate Taptakanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaur Bani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tadine. O Lord of Lords, we are completely ignorant of the execution of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, the process of liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. You have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship. But actually, you're present here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant and causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called Apavarga. Liberation. You have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. Okay, we are reading, great fortune of reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, the creative impetus, chapter number 3. Do you still remember the name? Or the name is not?
Rishabhadeva's appearance in the
appearance
womb
of
of
Vishwadev in the
the
womb of
wife
Meru
of
Devi,
King
wife of
Nabhi.
King Nabi.
King Nabi.
I love the enthusiasm. Okay, can any one person speak then? What is it? Appearance of Rishabh.
Appearance of Rishabhadeva's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of King Nabhi.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So basically, this chapter is glorifying the appearance of Rishabdev. And Rishabdev is being called upon by King Nabhi and his wife Meru Devi because he wanted to have a son, but he wanted to have a son through the worship of Vishnu. So Vishnu is not going to, or he wanted to have a son like Vishnu, like son like Vishnu. That was the case. And then he arranged the sacrificial arena to invoke auspiciousness to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna appears, and then the priests are offering him prayers, and they're offering him prayers by expressing their inabilities and shortcomings and glorifying Krishna's causeless, abundant and causeless mercy of him taking a trouble of coming all the way in the vision of the devotees. It's not, they're fully aware that their performance of sacrifice and arrangement of a huge paraphernalia was not something that was attractive to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he is Atmaram. But somehow he gets attracted to the pure devotional service or devotional service. But anyhow, to encourage us on the path of bhakti, you have appeared. Like that, Krishna appears in our life too, right? When we are chanting Hare Krishna, sometimes there is a fraction of a second, sometimes, not all the time, there's a fraction of a second where we feel that this transcendental bliss, this is the best thing happening to me in my life. Do you feel like that? Sometimes when you chant Hare Krishna, you get this sense of extreme satisfaction in the heart, but then it doesn't stay. It doesn't stay, but it comes. Do you feel like that?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
It is not possible if somebody is chanting 16 rounds continuously every single day of their life and they haven't felt it. It's not possible. It is impossible for someone to keep chanting Hare Krishna and not taste the holy name even once. So we feel like that, right? Now, where it doesn't stay, so Krishna comes, he gives the taste, and then because we are not worshipping Krishna with pure devotional service, so he gives us this trailer of what's waiting if we start worshipping Krishna with pure devotional service, or if we develop. Right? It's like, okay, in a movie or a trailer comes out that this is what the movie is going to be like. So like that, the taste, the little bit of a taste comes, and then we go hunt behind that taste and chant Hare Krishna again and again and again. So it's Krishna's way. Everything is coming from Krishna. This idea of making a trailer and then sending a movie is coming from Krishna, because for whatever I can see, you see, even in Mother Yashoda's, Krishna showed Mother Yashoda the entire creation in his mouth. That was also like a kind of a trailer. Like Krishna showed a universal form to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That is also kind of a trailer of what's actually behind, of what opulences Krishna is holding. So one has to be very, very aware. These priests are very aware that they are filled with shortcomings in their worship to Krishna, and it is not that Krishna got glared by the worshipping paraphernalia, but it was his own causeless abundant mercy that he came upon to give darshan to all the devotees sitting there to encourage. Okay, he's not gonna stay. He's gonna go to encourage all the devotees, and then he's gonna come back as Rishabdev. Okay, so this is what is happening. So they're saying that, okay, we are completely ignorant of the execution of dharma, artha, kam, and moksha, the process of liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. What does it mean? What I could understand what it means is the person who is following the Vedic literature is actually following this process of dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. Right? Dharma means following the religious principles, and following the codes of religion brings about opulence. Okay, because it pleases the superior authorities. And then when we have opulence, then we want to satisfy our senses. And then in a rush or race to satisfy senses, one eventually becomes tired. And then one goes for liberation. But actually, this is not the goal in itself. That's what they're saying. We're completely ignorant of the execution of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the process of liberation. Why? Because we do not actually know the goal of life. The goal of human form of life is not dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. It is one of the stepping stones towards bhakti, but it is not the goal in itself. Okay, it's like we go through school, we go through college, but the goal is to actually attain this particular degree, to work in this particular fashion in life, right? So, but the process of dharma, artha, kama, moksha can actually has the ability, if one is not fixed in the goal, ultimate goal, it has an ability to distract one from Krishna consciousness. That is why we see the demigods praying to Lord Chaitanya when he is in the womb of Mother Sachi. We read this in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. When demigods come to worship Lord Chaitanya in the womb of Mother Sachi, they pray that, my dear Lord, we have all the opulences, but we have only two troubles. Number one is that we are always attacked by the demons. And number two, we have so much opulence that we actually become absorbed in that opulence, and then we tend to forget you. So please, in this incarnation, you have appeared to give causeless mercy to the lowest, right? Patita Pavan, Hetu Tav Avatar. Narottam Das Thakur Prabhupada sings like this. So please don't forget us. Please give us the memory to remember you, my dear Lord. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha can distract even the higher authorities, so what to speak of us. So they are exhibiting, the priests are completely exhibiting that we may be very trained in the Brahmanical knowledge or Vedic knowledge, but we actually don't know. You see, it takes a lot of humility to say this. It's like you go to a very experienced doctor, very, very experienced doctor in the field, and then the more one becomes experienced, the more they know what they don't know, right? So person, what is that saying in SQ, IQ, EQ presentation? We have this saying, little science takes you away from God, more of it takes you to God. So as a person becomes more and more humble, they understand that actually we do not know. We thought we knew, but we do not know. So similarly, these priests are this is an expression of extreme humility and surrender, that actually we thought we knew. I got it. I thought I got it, but I haven't gotten it because I don't know what the real goal of life is. So Krishna, you have appeared before us, even though I have no ability. You have come because you are filled with this causeless mercy. There's no cause found, right? There's no cause that because I'm doing this particular sacrifice, because I'm doing this austerity, so that has caused you to appear. It's like in a material world, if somebody, a very high caliber person in the society, is invited to somebody's house, so there's always a cause there. Okay, there's always like, okay, there's always an attraction on part of both the parties, one who's invited and one who's the invitee. So the guest or the host. So the guest has, and probably, I don't know, but if for the sake of discussion, the guest will not go to that host house unless and until there's an agenda attached, right? For example, if you're going to call upon a very big personality to your house, a very big minister or anyone like, or a very big movie star to your house, there is going to be some agenda attached, right? And they will also accept the invitation only if that agenda is served. So I don't know, or you can just come. Okay, you're inviting and we're just going to come. Probably because publicity, right? Probably then, and then the host also wants to be famous for knowing that this such and such person came to my house and we hosted them. But in terms of Krishna, now Krishna is the creator of such personalities. Imagine how big Krishna is. So Krishna has no such agenda attached. He doesn't come because he's looking for some fame, or he's looking for some adoration, or he's looking for some appreciation from his devotees. No, he comes for, well, external, internal reason. Why Krishna comes? What is the external reason and internal reason? What is more? You study this in Bhagavad Gita.
That dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever he needs to, means something is happening, means he wants to bring up dharma in light. So he appears. This is what he said in Bhagavad Gita. Yada
The
yada
external
dharmasya
reason.
glanir.
Yeah, okay. There's an external. What's the internal reason?
To see his devotees, Mataji.
To please
the devotees.
Please, yes, very nice. So you see, the Prabhupada mentioned in the class that yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So you see, if there is a glani of a dharma, Krishna really doesn't need to come. Krishna's agents are enough. No, if Kansa, he could have been killed by Indra. He could have, Indra would have called Samavartaka cloud and just cut off his head. Lord Ram didn't need to come to kill Ravan. He could have called upon anybody. Just by the glance of Lord Ram, the inhabitants of ocean and the Lord of ocean itself got agitated just by his glance. So imagine like how many Ravan can be killed by his agents. But the external reason is, okay, he comes. The internal reason is because he wants to please his devotees. So when Krishna comes, the reason is that he wants to please his devotees. In this case, priests are pure devotees in a way. They may not be exhibiting the pure devotional service in their practice right now, but they are pure devotees. Okay, and then they're exhibiting that you have come out of your abundant causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest. Give us the benefit of your personal glory called Apavarga or liberation. So Krishna, I really don't know what is reality and what is perversion. But Prabhupada says, no, Chaitanya Chaitamrita says, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hai andhakar, jahan Krishna tahan nahi Maya adhikar. So Krishna's presence is like sun and Maya is like darkness. So wherever there's Krishna, where there's light, there's no darkness. So when Krishna comes in our life and we pray for Krishna to come and we actually welcome the presence of Krishna in our life, and he comes, right? He's saying that Krishna is coming in the form of a Arch Vigraha, deity in the temple. Then we must have that consciousness to be able to admire and glorify the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like so many people say, if God is everywhere, why do we need temple? Why do we need temple if God is everywhere? What is your answer? Why do we need temple? God is everywhere. Why we have to establish Archa Vigraha and actually methodically worship the deity as given to us by the Acharyas. The Acharyas have spent time in establishing the deity and giving us the method. but God is everywhere, right? So why do we need it? Dhanya, Tameshwari Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The Kanishta Adhikari always believes that God is in the temple. So that is also the reason actually, because apart from the that in the temple, their belief is only in the Aksha Vigraha form. That's the reason um, the temples are all there, Mataji. And one more thing, to have the Sadhu Sangha also, the association also should grow actually, so that the bhakti also will be, the Kanishta Adhikari can elevate to the Madhyamadhikari and Uttamadhikari, Mataji, to attending the classes. So temples are meant for educating the society, Mataji, so that they can know who is God. The realization will come, what are the things they have to follow in their life. So what is their ultimate goal in their life? All those things we can get to know, Mataji. This is my submission, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Anyone else?
To engage people in devotional service or to get that mood of how of Lord.
Okay, very nice. It gives us a via medium. Okay, thank you. See, thank you. So one argument we can put forward is, you say God is everywhere, why do we need temples? And the counter argument is, air is always saturated with some amount of humidity, right? Isn't it like the air is always saturated with some amount of water, isn't it? There's always a humidity.
Yes, ma'am.
There's always a level of humidity. So why do we need tap to harvest the water to drink? Why can't we just drink water from the air? Because it's not tangible. It's not tangible to us. So it is true that Krishna is everywhere, but are we at that stage to see Krishna everywhere? It's not tangible. As much as the water is everywhere, but we can't quench our thirst by just getting that air, the water in the air. Okay. So two kinds of devotees are generally attached to deity worship. One is, as Dhanadhameshwari Mataji said, a neophyte devotee, and then the other is a very advanced devotee, right? We have so many pastimes of how Lord Radharaman appeared to Gopal Bhatt Goswami, and then how Sanatan Goswami was talking to Madan Mohan, right? And then we have the pastime of Sakshi Gopal. We have the pastime of Madhavendra Puri and Srinathji. So all these exalted devotees are, and we have the pastime of Udupi Krishna and Madhvacharya. So all these acharyas are actually showing by their own conduct that Archa Vigraha is not a stone or a statue. It's actually a Vigraha. It's actually a representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a form that we can perceive. And it is very important for us to perceive, because we are in bodily concept of life. We cannot perceive Krishna in the spiritual vision because we don't have that quality. So Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, presents himself to us in a form that we can perceive. So actually, but we are so unfortunate that we are not even ready to accept that causeless mercy. We're actually trying to find fault even in that. See, the acharyas are not going to give us something which is not going to be beneficial for our journey back home. So it's very important. So today I was listening to Prabhupada's lecture. He was saying, if someone worships a deity with a lot of awe and reverence and love, he was talking about love, then the bhava changes. And he said the bhava is not so easy to change. And then he spoke about bhava in that 9th stage of bhakti. And then he says, like Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, he says their bhava changes. And then he gave example of one of his disciples. He said the disciple, he was worshipping the deities in Hyderabad temple, but he was transferred to Madras. But he wrote to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said he wrote to me that he cannot live without the deities in the Hyderabad temple, so he's been brought back. Prabhupada said this happens, the attachment happens. If somebody is fortunate to develop that kind of attachment, And he says, you see, Krishna is not that Krishna is wanting us to dress him. Actually, Krishna gives intelligence to us so that we can dress him. Krishna gives mati. Krishna gives ability to a person, to a devotee who wants to dress him. So, and then he gets dressed by that. But it looks like he's dependent on the devotee, but actually, it's a very nice in relationship exchange going on between Krishna and his devotee. So that somehow by that service, the attachment of the devotee becomes more and more strong to Krishna. And as that attachment becomes strong, our attachment to the material world becomes weaker and weaker. Weaker and weaker. Remember, we studied when the consciousness is fixed on the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the mind becomes controlled. Because the consciousness is not fixed, because we have so many subject matters to think about, the mind is uncontrolled. Right? Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. Who knows that verse? Bahushakahi anantascha. Vyavasatmika buddhi ehe kurunandana. Bahushakahi anantascha. Last line. I always forget the last line. I know it's 2.41. Bahushaka.
व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एकेह कुदन्दन बहुशाखा अनन्तस्य बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनाम्.
Buddhaya avyavasayinam. So what it means is, so Prabhupada is explaining avyavasayinam as of those who are not in Krishna consciousness. So their intelligence is bahushakha. Shakha means branch. So multi-branched. The intelligence of a person who's not fixed in Krishna consciousness, that intelligence is multi-branched. But whoever is fixed, they have vyavasatmika, resolute in Krishna consciousness. So if we can, in this life, in this moment that we have, make this determination and prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I want to make progress in my journey back home. I do want to. I don't know if I'll be able to come, but and because there's so many inabilities and so many faults, so many shortcomings, but Krishna, you can fill those shortcomings. I do want to come back. I do want to be situated in a transcendental service. Then Krishna will give the intelligence, give the resources. Krishna will give the right kind of service according to our psychophysical nature. So we become fixed. We'll find our niche in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so understand in this particular verse that the priests are finding, they are very honest with their shortcomings and prayers, and they are glorifying Krishna for his abundant and causeless mercy, and they're saying that we thought we knew what is dharma, artha, kam, and moksha, but actually we don't know. Why? Because we actually don't know what is the goal of life. We got distracted. King Nabi wants a son. He could have asked, we could have conducted the same sacrifice but for a pure devotional service. No, but we are conducting this for want of a son. So it's not pure devotional service and we are shortcoming, but you have come out of your causeless mercy. So understand the appearance of Krishna in your life. Where is he coming? In what form? Through what medium? And are you ready to move forward? Any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections?